C minus. I can't tell you the last time I needed a K-bar. I've never needed a K-bar. A good EDC makes your day better, doesn't break the bank, and is reliable. Not even a second thought of will it break or will it work. It simply does what you carry it to do. Here's a ranking of my gear, from best to bust. All right, this is my gear list, doing a grading tier system. These are pretty popular on YouTube right now, so I figured I'd do one. Everything I'm gonna be reviewing today, almost everything, is in this bag. So I was gonna start with the bag, but I think we're just gonna go inside first. I'm not pulling these out in any particular order, just whatever's kind of on top. Starting with, and this brings me into multiple ones, a headlamp. Boom. This one's slightly different from flashlight, obviously, because you can strap it to your head. This is great if you need both your hands. So I will bring this if I'm gonna be in an environment where I know I'm gonna need light often, generally night. Hiking, camping, maybe working on a car or something outside. Headlamp, way better and superior than a flashlight that occupies one of the hands. This was like 10, 15 bucks. It's just the cheap option at Walmart. Believe it or not, I actually bought this at Kmart. Rest in peace, Kmart. For the affordability, 10, 15 bucks. For the illumination and option, I'll probably give this a B. We have F, failure, C, B, A, and S. S is the best tier. I actually had to look up what it means. It's actually from a Japanese ranking system, but some think it stands for superior or super. This, I'm going to go B tier. The value's good. The practicality is great, but I just don't use it a lot. And because of that, it's not getting A, it's getting B, but for 15 bucks, good headlamp. Good headlamp, which brings me into number 2, and this is a fun category. Flashlights. Flashlight, and I have a few different ones, and I'm not sure if this should be included. I guess not. It's not a flashlight. This is just a lantern. Cheap, 10, 12 bucks on market or on Amazon. But these tend to come in like packets of 3, and if ever there's a power outing or like a car camp and you just want to have some light around, I'm using it right now just so I have some light on these items for a little prop. But I'm not going to include that. If I did, it'd probably be a C. Same thing. I don't use it a lot, and it's not as versatile as a headlamp. So yeah, Amazon lantern, C. And this is going to be a drinking out of the water hose kind of tier review, because I want to cover a lot of stuff. But these kind of flashlights get an A. This is a Surefire light, which I think was like 10 or 12 bucks. It has a really cool clip on it. It's like an S clip. And the reason being is you can open up that clip, and if you have a hat on, you can put this on your hat and have a headlamp. You can get these with rechargeable. This one has a AAA battery in it, but the thing about AAAs now these days is you can buy AAA rechargeable batteries. So you just unscrew it, you pull the battery out a little, put a Type-C, USB Type-C charger in it, and you have the capability to recharge your flashlight instead of needing AAAs and maybe not having them. This one, it's a little bulkier, but it's cheaper. It doesn't have the hat clip. But you get yourself a good little tactical flashlight. And tactical flashlights get an A all day. It's one of those things you don't need it until you need it. And then when you have it, it's a game changer. This is just a cheap one. It's, oh, there we go. It's multi though, so it's great for camping. It's a flashlight and a little lamp. This actually gets a B as well. Same kind of thing. I don't use it often, but for the value, it's great. And it's less bulky than this, and it has the flashlight function as well. So these, I mean, you can get these cheap as chips. You can buy these together maybe and get over $35 and get some free shipping. The piece of rope I added was from me, and that's just so I can hang it up places. And I think I made it just big enough so I can like loop it around itself and hang, and then I can get a lamp. That's nice. That's gonna stay on and help me with my, yeah, studio light. B plus. All right, hey, up next, a little notebook and a pen. That's gonna be B tier. It's bulky. I don't carry it around too much. Mostly stays in the house, but comes with me sometimes. And I'm gonna go ahead and lump this in with pen and paper. And pen and paper, I keep with me all the time. It gets B tier because like it's free. This obviously was like $5, a nice notebook, but to grab some paper from like a printer or scrap paper from somewhere and to find a pen, it's free to at best a couple bucks. And it's so nice to have something to write on when you need it. If you can, have 2 pens, because someone's gonna steal your pen and you need a redundancy. So pen and paper, B tier. Shoot, should be A tier. It just doesn't come in use that often. So I'm not giving it A tier. Up next is a really fun one. It's in a Faraday bag, which blocks from electromagnetic pulses, which will kill electronics. And if you know, you know. That goes there. It screws on. And this is a $20 ham radio off Amazon. It's a Baofeng GT5R. The GT5R supposedly, they say it complies with FCC compliance for like radio emission. But those are cool to add to your kit. They get a C all day because you will never you'll never really need this. Although I have turned them on for tornadoes, and there's an emergency network of ham radio operators, and you can listen to that tornado in real time. They'll clear the net. You're not allowed to talk unless you have something substantial to report. And I've heard of people like reporting fires in places and like nuts, some cool stuff. But it's generally for the old boys to talk about what kind of radios they're listening to. You don't need a license to use one of these either. To listen to one of these, you just need to buy it, and you can turn it on and learn how to use it. It has a substantial learning curve, so it's going to be a C minus actually. It has a flashlight with it. You can listen to FM radio with it. But overall, it's just really cool to have a Baofeng radio in like your car or in your truck. And if you're bored and you're wanting to kill some time, you can pull it out. You can take it with you and use the FM radio option a lot. So I'm gonna leave that right there. And what do we have next? This one's another kind of weird one. This is an air mattress, and it's lightweight. It's for backpacking. It's extremely expensive. I had to buy this separate. But I included it in EDC because it's definitely not everyday carry, but I still like go hang out with my buddies. I see their families, and when I know they're gonna have a big like group together and a lot of people are spending the night, I've just blown this up, brought it with me, blown it up, grabbed one of their blankets and like slept in their living room. And it's awesome for that. It's also great for backpacking, which is what it's for. But it's expensive at, you know, $100 will be the starting point. This is another $20 or $30. But look at backpacking mattresses. And another reason I put it in there is I saw someone using it at the airport. Not mine. That'd be weird. They had one of their own. But they must have had a red eye because like at luggage claim, they were just off to the side of the room against the wall with their air mattress of all things, just sleeping between connections. All right, a sewing kit. Everyone should learn to sew. and get a sewing kit. This is B plus tier. I have thread, I have buttons, I have needles. I told you before in my other EDC video that I'll put at the end of this one how it saved my butt camping because I had to repair my tent. My tent was useless until I fixed it with my sewing kit. I had a smaller one. Like I said, I'll link it at the end. But for the price, for the convenience, there's so much you can do with these. You can start making your own gear. You can repair the gear you bought. You can modify gear. For that, it's a solid A minus, actually, because of the learning curve of having to know how to sew. So it's downgraded from A to A minus. Little first aid kit, band-aids, water purifiers, ibuprofen, antihistamines, antidiuretics. I think I'm going to put that at an A. And you can probably put one together just out of what you have in your house already. Grab a few band-aids, grab a few ibuprofens. If you have the Tums antidiuretics, those are great. When you need them, you need them. It's so cheap to put together, and there's really no excuse to like not have one of these, at least in your car or in your travel bag. I'll put earplugs in them when I fly, so that way when there's crying babies, I can just pull those out, put in my earplugs, and not hear the crying babies so much. Another one that gets left off often is like umbrella. To have this in my car, and when it rains, I have an umbrella. I think for most people it rains and you're like, dang, I have an umbrella and it's at home. These are cheap, they're compact, they open up pretty big. I'm gonna get some bad luck for like opening this up indoors. And I originally bought this for hiking to keep the sun off me after a lot of other people raved about them. And I have to say, I did a holiday in Australia. I have to call it a holiday. It wasn't necessarily a vacation because I was there for a while, like 5 months. But I was working there as well. But I used this a lot in Australia, out in the desert, because it was a sunbrella. Kept the sun off me because that sun doesn't play around. 15 bucks, keeps you dry-ish. Keeps the sun off you if you're in like Florida or Texas or Australia. You will look a little silly carrying an umbrella around for the sun. Because of that, it's getting a B minus. B minus, yeah. Also clip it to a bag. B minus for the umbrella. We are turning and burning through these. I'm not going to go over this urban survival kit. Since I've made that video, though, that I'm linking at the end of this, which was like last week, I've already needed some duct tape. And I've just pulled it right off this kit because it was in the center glove box. I was like, dang, I need a little bit of duct tape. I was like, I've got some. It's in my EDC kit. Ripped it off, used it. An urban survival kit just gets an A+. If you want to learn how to make your own, please see the end of my video and go watch that one, but I'm not going to cover it in this tier list, but that's an A. That's an A all day. This is a Garmin Mini InReach, and I keep it clipped to here in the center of my truck console. I pay the $7.99 or $6.99 monthly subscription so I can use the SOS emergency distress button. And I also had it on me during our ice storm to get weather reports in case the cellular network went down, which it didn't, which is fine. But when I got the subscription, I saw that the majority, they had a little pie chart, majority of uses for that SOS was actually roadside assistance. Someone was out like at the Great Smoky Mountains or Yellowstone and their car wouldn't start probably, and they just SOS, Garmin liaison calls like AAA. You don't pay the liaison, I don't think, but you are liable for like the AAA bill. Don't quote me on that. But after, I used to just have it in my hiking gear and take it hiking. And then I saw that, and then I was like, I'm putting that in my truck console. So that way, if ever I'm out in a rural area and my 23-year-old truck doesn't start, I have a backup plan. Up next is another thing covered in that video that I'm going to link at the end. Just a bum bag. I got a new one, and I need to make an organizer for it. like I had in my old bum bag or fanny pack. Power bank, A, it's cheap, holds a lot of power. Can charge my phone probably twice. Tissues, A, because they're cheap, and when you need one, and it's always on me. I hate when I sneeze and I can feel snot and I don't have a tissue. Not only is this tissues, this is like half a pack because I use them. Chapstick, A. This whole bag, it's an A. My lips happen to be chapped as well. Pen and paper, pencil, or sorry, pen, paper, tissues. If you want to see more about what I keep in my bum bag, please see that video at the end of this video. Put that there. And we're cruising. What else do we have in here? I'm going to go to a topic. And this is a topic. And that is knives. All of the EDC people, most all of them, I think, love a good knife. So I just decided to make a tier of its own out of it. So I grabbed my little knife collection here. And I'm almost done, I promise. I think that's all of them. That's just gonna have to do. So I have a few different ones. Pocket knives, sheath knives, and go in my EDC bag. I think it's here. Grab my selected daily carry, the one I use. Multi-tools. So starting with multi-tool, $8. That's kind of satisfying. Walmart banger made by Ozark Trail. I'm giving this an A because I've used it and it's just great. You need to take like a car battery off and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you might not want to try to use your Garmin. So maybe you just make sure your leads are connected or you see it's loose, you know. A knife to open up Amazon boxes. A Phillips screwdriver head if you might need to take a license plate off or something. But this is a Leatherman. I got this for my dad. I bought this for him for Christmas years ago, and it still looks new. And he keeps this in his center console. And I have to say, it's beautiful. And you can tell this is highly engineered. But it doesn't do so much more. I forget how much I paid for this, but it was like $60 or $80. For what this costs alone, I can make a stellar everyday carry kit. Just from the cost of a Leatherman. So because of that, I'm sorry, Leatherman. I know these are loved and coveted in the EDC community, but you're getting a B- for cost. And I've had expensive knives before, and I've learned to buy cheap because I carry them around and use them so often that I lose them. Or none's got stolen, none have broken, like a multi-tool. But I can tell you, this is like my third cheap Walmart banger multi-tool. And the last one, I bought a bunch of stuff on a camping trip. Like, yeah, just a bunch of stuff. And I decided to open up my multi-tool, get the little saw out because it was in that plastic, cut all the stuff out of the packaging, and then throw the packaging away so I didn't have trash in my car. And I left this in the shopping cart and returned the shopping cart. So I wasn't heartbroken when I went back and bought another one for $8. With that, I'll stop yapping about how much I love these. For $8, A tier. That's going in my fanny pack. The whole fanny pack, it's an A tier, as well as the Urban Survival Kit. Sheath knives, I don't know. I never really use a sheath knife. They're just kind of fun. This is an Ozark Trail. $8 sheath knife. Army Navy surplus store. Bought this like 10 years ago for $5. Times were different back then. You can actually cut electrified bob wire because it feeds into the sheath. But it was at an Army surplus store in like Greece. I had to clean all the grease off because that's how they stored it. C-. I can't tell you the last time I needed a K-bar. I've never needed a K-bar. No one outside the United States military needs a K-bar. but they're cool. So C-. Pocket knives, A+ all day. Specifically something like this one, which was my old daily carry, a Garmin Bear Grylls edition. It has serration, has to have serration for me to put it in A+ tier. I think that one was like $20, and then I bought this one recently. You've definitely seen it before if you've seen some of my videos. $8 Ozark Trail, has serration. They need to be cheap so I can lose them and not cry. So that's A tier. This is a stiletto that I just had to bring out because it was in my little knife collection box. I got this at a gun show, once again, 10 or 15 years ago, and this was $5. Times were different a decade ago. Inflation is ridiculous. You can't get that or that for $5 anymore. That's not even on the tier list. I just brought it as show and tell. This, like these Swiss Army knives, they're so cool. I have another one. Oh, I didn't bring it. I'm so sorry. I have another one on my keychain, smaller than this. And they just don't have serration. They can open up Amazon boxes. That one has scissors and the toothpick and tweezers. You get a B- for no serration. And because they're kind of pricey, because they're Swiss Army, so I feel kind of bad if I lose them. Next is nostalgic, like pocket knives. Like, these are beautiful. You get, what was this, B-? These are, this one's kind of pricey, but a similar one would be like a similar comparable price to a Swiss Army knife. And I gotta say, this is definitely getting like a B+. And it gets a B+ because it's cool. All right, there's a difference between bringing out a knife and opening up an Amazon box and pulling out like a case knife or an old buck knife to open up an Amazon box. You get bonus points, you get cool points. So with that, that is an entire topic covered. I want a coffee break, but I don't think that's polite to the viewer to be sipping on coffee, especially when you probably don't have any. This is a puffer jacket. They're very compressible. If you travel a lot or you hike a lot, I recommend you get one. You put them on the bottom of your bag. You compress stuff on top of it. I have a carabiner inside the pocket because this will fold into its own pocket. You stuff the jacket in there and then it zips up and the carabiner hangs out, and then I can clip it on a bag. It is down, which is great. It's what makes it compressible and it's warm. But if you're not familiar with down, it takes a while for it to warm up because it just warms your down baffling from your body heat and then it stays warm. So if you're not used to a down jacket and you put it on and you're like, this isn't as great as I thought, just wait 20 minutes and it should be better. Try zipping it up all the way. Also, try tumbling it in the dryer on air dry, no heat. And that will kind of help to fluff up the down because over time, they can get compressed. All right. What else do we have in our little EDC? Just turn and burn. Did I put a grade on that? Small gimbal issue. It's been resolved. But we're back. Jacket, B-. It's only winter, 25% of the year. It does get chilly, I guess, in other seasons. I'll give it a solid B. It's just expensive, and I don't use it that often. Although I do use it indoors a lot, too, whenever it's chilly. In a room or in a movie, you know, it's compressible. You bring it with you to the movie theater. In this pocket is kind of another sub-tier, which is just cheap items. I'm all about budget. How much bang can you get for your buck? There's one more in here. Oh, no, it's another pocket because it's not budget. Pen and paper, we've already discussed that. That's going over there. A cheap pocket watch from Walmart, specifically this F91W. I suggest almost everyone get one of these, unless you already have a G-Shock or another good digital watch. I know the time, I know the day, I know the date. $22. It's waterproof, water resistant. You can swim with it, take a shower. Tea light candles. I use these during the ice storm because our power was knocked out, and a way to light the candles. Both of these get A. This gets an A. These get an A. $22 for $5. You can get like 20 of these. You can get these for cheap as chips too. It's not a Bic, but it works. I think this was like $2. That was loud. I hope my neighbors don't think there's an emergency. $2. Put it in a backpack. Put it on your hiking gear. B+. Because you're probably never going to need it. Hopefully you never need it. What else we got in here? That pocket's empty. This big pocket's empty. That pocket's empty. We're getting close. End of the show. Sunglasses. A. A+. They serve a purpose. They keep the sun out of your eyes. These are polarized. These are like $20 at Walmart. These are Ironmans. These were $5 to $8 at Walmart. If you want cheaper sunglasses that are polarized, these are polarized. And I love them cheap because I will break or lose these all day. Go to the fishing section. Get out. These were in the sunglasses section. 15 to 20 bucks, about the average price. But just, oh, that's not as cool. That wasn't as cool as I thought. But, if you want even more budget, go to the fishing section. These should flip. I flip these up. Bam. Oh, yeah. Pull them out. Flick them off. They get A+ because they're $8. They serve a purpose. And, I don't know, I just like having sunglasses on sometimes. These are a little different. These, you can probably pick them up for 10 bucks. These are safety glasses. Safety sunglasses. But, these will get the A+. They'll get knocked because if you've ever worked with sunglasses that are safety glasses, they scratch really easily. But it gets more points because they will protect your eyes. If you're working construction or maybe you're on a shooting range, you have good sunglasses that double as safety glasses. Sunglasses, A+. I used to have Oakleys. I lost the Oakleys. I don't buy expensive sunglasses anymore. Getting close to the end of the list, but duct tape and electrical tape. Both of these get A's. Like I said, I used duct tape the other day. Needed some to tape a mic to a mic holder. It's cheap. It's readily available. And I would knock it because it's kind of weird to carry duct tape around. But while I'm here, because I'm out, I got a new water bottle. On my old water bottle, I just put some on my water bottle. And this is generally how I tend to carry duct tape, if I can find the little start thing. But I just open it up, put it around the bottle. And I'm almost out of duct tape on this roll, sadly. And then, I'm not sure how much that was, maybe a foot, but I'll wrap it around several times. I'll buy some more. It gets used a lot. But that's how I like to carry it. And then I always have duct tape with me. I'm never looking for it. So A+ for the duct tape. It's cheap. It solves a lot of problems. I did put this out. This wasn't just a prop or because I wanted water. But a solid insulated water bottle gets an A as well. Cheap. This was a hydro flask, but it was free from an accounting firm that I won't name. And I put a DJI sticker over it because I like DJI more than accounting. But you can probably pick these up at Target or Walmart, $10, $15. I used to not like insulated because I couldn't boil water in them. But I've never had a situation where I needed to boil water in a water bottle. And I can leave this out in summer. I can make it cold, put cold water in it, leave it in my car for a couple hours, come back. The car is hot, but the water is not. So for 15 bucks, A+. And it's important to stay hydrated. And that leads me to the end, which is just these bags. This is a crushable bag. It's like 9 or 11 liters. They're great if I have this bag and I can leave it somewhere like my car, but I want to take some more items with me, say my water, my glasses, my fanny pack, umbrella. I open it up, stuff it in there, and then it's a backpack. When I'm done, I put all that stuff away, maybe back in this backpack, crush it up, stuff it in here. There's my keys. I'm glad I found these. I would have been searching for them forever because I wanted to include that pocket knife. Just a simple Swiss Army knife. If you've seen that other EDC video that I'll link, you've seen that knife before, so I won't cover it. But just a solid backpack. I mean, it can be a tactical bag. I was going to say not a tactical bag, but just a backpack. This is an overnight bag for me. This is a day pack for me. I often use it as a camera bag for tripods and lights and mics. But I mean, I think I got this used from a friend. I traded him like a camp stove and a can of gas for this. 20 bucks. You can go on Marketplace. You can go to Walmart. Same thing. Don't go to the backpack section. Go to the outdoors section because they have better deals and I think cooler bags. But this gets an A. This gets an A all day. And with that, let me know in the comments below what you thought was my best piece of gear. And let me know what I missed. Let me know what your favorite piece of EDC gear is. Also, if you have any video recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Until then, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Cool. Hopefully all that recorded. Please have recorded. Although they are nice to have indoors, they're very expensive. Why'd it do that?